Contrasting with the unyielding resilience and formidable nature of our early ancestors, modern youth face a new set of challenges that test their well-being. Statistics show a concerning rise in health issues among young people today. There has been a notable increase in chronic illnesses such as diabetes and obesity, a rise in addiction to digital devices and substances, and a troubling prevalence of depression and anxiety. However, there is one powerful antidote to this weakening trend, a path to resilience and strength. You will learn this now.
My generation is cooked. My generation is addicted to a piece of plastic. A piece of plastic not which you scroll on and destroy your dopamine receptors on. One far worse. One that you literally suck on and you don't even know the consequences of. One that we know gives you cancer. One that we know literally destroys your life and is a piece of plastic manufactured from China with ingredients you don't even know the names of. And this isn't just a vape, bro. This is the phone. They're addicted to that piece of plastic, which is also in their pocket that, yes, they do scroll on. And instead of using it for good, instead of using it to generate tens of thousands of dollars a month and free their families like I do and save lives. You know how many DMs I get from people saying, you've saved my life, you've helped me, you've done this, you've done that. No. Instead, they do it to watch and watch and watch and rot their lives away in bed, doing nothing productive with their lives. My generation has no concept of what instant and delayed gratification is. My generation has no ideology. It has no thoughts of how to generate a future, a better future. My generation doesn't know anything about a better future. My generation doesn't understand anything about exercise. My generation doesn't understand anything about staying away from shit things. What happened to tradition? What happened to raising families? What happened to raising good kids? What happened to staying away from corruption, from evil, from greed, from sloth, from the bullshit that plagues our minds nowadays? What happened to that? Most of our generation is cooked. They are cooked. They are stuck in this endless rabbit hole where they literally cannot escape from. They have no hope. 90%, imagine that, bro. This video has not even lasted. It's barely lasted a minute. And literally 90% of the viewers are gone. Why? Why do you think that? It's because of that infinite scroll that their minds have been hijacked by. And the thing is, everyone is welcome into self-improvement. Everyone is welcome into our brotherhood. Except one type of person. The person who has no desire to improve or to change. Most people are too lazy, too pathetic, too futile in their desires and needs to change. But you are different. At least I hope you are. My generation is so cooked and I'm so scared for the future. You've seen the rise of like these accounts these Instagram accounts where people stay away from big cities and everything. You've seen the decline of mental health. You've seen the decline of physical health. You've seen the rise in obesity. You've seen the rise in shit foods. You've seen the rise in infertility. You've seen the rise in disease. You've seen the rise in garbage. And people just watch and watch and watch and let it go by. My message is being silenced. It is being silenced by YouTube. It is being silenced by every platform I post on. You can take a look at the last few videos that have been literally demonetized and limited and partially blocked in some countries. How pathetic is that? How pathetic that they silence a message of improvement and growth and growing stronger together. How pathetic is that? You see, most people are blinded. They think that this endless rabbit hole of existence, not even living, you don't live a life in bed scrolling away on a fucking app called TikTok. That is not living. That's not living at all. People think this is life. They think the classic, oh, wake up at a time I don't want to, at a time where I'm sleep deprived because I just drank last night and destroyed and fucked my body and took drugs and smoked. They think that's fine and it's time to wake up and it's time to go to work and it's time to do the regular bullshit that all normies of us do. It's fine. It's normal, isn't it? How many times do I literally just have to ingrain this message? Do I have to drill it into your mind that normality is not what we seek? You want normality? Get off this channel and go watch fucking KSI. Go watch Sidemen. Go watch blind speed dating. Go watch that bullshit. Don't go to the gym. Don't hop on self-improvement. Don't read. Don't read interesting things that literally give you knowledge that nobody really thinks of. Don't read these interesting things. Bro, just literally go reinstall TikTok and go watch little girls dancing. Go be controlled by elites who are literally pedophiles. Go be controlled and get your mind hijacked by rubbish. That is what the normal life leads you to. You have these dreams of driving around in supercars. You have these dreams of building families. You have these dreams of attracting a beautiful, loving woman. Go and put them in the bin with the life you are living. Go and put them in the bin. This motivational speech is not one for you to get excited at. This one is for true inspiration and true change in the future, because these do help. These videos that I make, they do fucking help. But they only help when you want to help yourself first. Enough of this garbage. If you still have TikTok on your phone, you should be ashamed. You genuinely should be ashamed. You understand that this app has no purpose other than to keep you hooked into a loop. These literal like nerds in China who've studied brains, human brains for thousands of years, build the algorithm so minutely and so detailed and so specifically to keep you hooked, to destroy your hormone levels. There's a cultural crisis. There's a war against your brain health. There's a war against your hormonal health. There's a war against masculinity. There's a war against so many things, and we just let that go by. We just let that go by. And the thing is, call it toxic, call it whatever, there's not a single person who has stumbled upon this channel, who has stumbled upon our brotherhood, who has stumbled upon our message and our way of life and the things I preach. There's not a single person who has reported a negative outcome out of going through our trials and tribulations. You want an easy life? Prepare for a perilous and a treacherous path down the line. You want a hard life now? For a more fulfilling and enjoyable future down the line, for a future where you actually have the things you want. Not one where your wife doesn't even love you, and she just goes out dressing like a whore and dancing, literally grinding on guys. Not one where you are unable to have a child because of the infertility crisis heading towards you. Sperm levels are set to reach zero at 2045. In the year 2045, and I've made a full video on this, you can go watch it. Sperm levels are set to reach zero. Fertility crisis is horrible. It's genuinely coming, and it's coming to destroy us all. The time is coming where you literally have to inject another man's sperm into your woman to have a child and raise one that isn't even yours biologically. You can cope all you want and say, oh, it's my child, but that is not your legacy, that is not your blood, that is not the person who will continue your bloodline. What happened to honoring our former ancestors? What happened to honoring our bloodline and legacies? What happened to building generational wealth, building business, building strength? What happened to all of that, bro? Where did it go? It's in the bin. Not with you. Not with you. You're here to make a change, and I'm sure you're not here to suck on a fucking vape. I'm sure you're not here to suck on a vape. I'm sure the reason you are here is because you want change. You see your mother going to work every single day, breaking her back to put food on your table, when 99% of people my age are ungrateful and they don't recognize the efforts that come through with this. The same with your father, breaking his back, working some bullshit job he doesn't like for your sake. You goblin. You goblin. Shame on the people who are ungrateful. Shame on the people who do not recognize the efforts of the people who came before them. Every 3 generations, there's one who builds wealth, and 3 generations after, there's one that sends all that wealth into the ground and buries it and destroys it all. It's time for us to either be that generation that destroys the success. You live under a roof and you have water and food. You understand how lucky you are. There are people who have literal bombs being thrown at them on a daily basis. There are people who have starvation crises. There are people who have bones coming out of their ribs. Like, you can literally see the striations. That's not muscle, bro. That's not muscle. You understand how lucky you are. You will either send your generation, your bloodline, and your ancestors into shame. You will honor their name, or you will send it into shame. Which one will you be? Which one will you be? Because instead of sitting on bed right now, scrolling, infecting my eyes with garbage, with propaganda, with filth, with corruption, instead I'm doing this, instead I'm doing what I love and making generational wealth out of it. I'm making my ancestors proud. I'm making you proud, bro. I'm making you proud. I'm not old. I'm 19. I'm 19, and My mindset is so different than those around me. It is so different than those around me. It is one of tradition, of hope, of strength, of duty, of gratitude. What is yours? What do you live for? Do you live for God? Do you live for money? If you don't pray to something, if you don't pray to God, what do you pray for? This is not me trying to preach God to you. This is me trying to preach strength to you. And with God comes strength. With God comes honor, comes justice, comes goodness. We stand as a beacon of hope, as a beacon of light, as a sword of justice from the corruption that infects the minds of our youth, and not even just the youth, older people as well. How many 25, 26, 30 year olds have you seen on TikTok scrolling on that filth? It's an unspeakable amount. But we've come to make a change, haven't we? We've come to stop this filth. We've come to make a huge change. You want that future life, envision it right now. Envision the life with your beautiful woman, with the fulfilling job that you want, with one where you can wake up whenever you want, you can feed your kids whatever you want, you can buy whatever you want. Yes, you can try your BMW M8 competition, and you can try your Lamborghini Hurricanes, and you can try whatever supercar you want, and you can try the meals at 3-star Michelin restaurants you can afford to. But more importantly, you have fulfillment. You have fulfillment, you have spirituality, and you have something that so many, and it's a shame that I say this, that so many, that 95% of our generation won't have. Our generation is cooked. It is genuinely cooked. But I see a change. I see a change in channels like this one. I see a change where some people have decided to say, fuck this, I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with this way of living. Let me go get some sunlight. Let me touch some grass. Let me build a body that is worth being built. Let me change my mindsets. Let me make some money. Let me give back to my mother. Let me retire her. Let me not allow her to ever work bullshit again. Let me take care of my siblings, my little sister, my brother, all these people. Let me take care of them. There's a change and there's a rise in men who are saying, fuck this bullshit that is being pushed upon us, fuck this propaganda, fuck this rise of rubbish, fuck this rise of corruption. Let us do something about it and let us fight against it. You and I, we are part of an army, and this army is growing day by day. It is growing day by day. It is an army that symbolizes strength, prevalence in the resistance to this corruption and of this bullshit, to the resistance of weakness. Because to be honest, these are times of comfort. These are times of comfort, and in comfort comes weakness. Comfort is the killer of man, and there are so many dead men out there. There are so many dead, weak men, men who don't live, they exist. But it is time for us, it is time for our army, and not just my brotherhood, but there are so many young men nowadays who have said, fuck this. It is time for a new message, it is time for a new era of masculinity, of strength, of courage, of God, of determination, and of change. We stand as an army against this rubbish and as bullshit. And it is time for us to rise. We stand as the sword of justice against the evils, against the corruption. We stand as this beacon of light against the darkness that perils our lands. I think it is time to change, bro. It is time to change. So enough TikTok. Go uninstall it right now if you still have that shit. Enough garbage, enough smoking, stop being a chronic fapper. Go touch some grass. Go speak to some beautiful woman. And go live your life, frankly. Go live your life. Live a life of courage, of strength, of kindness, of generosity, and a life of wisdom. You are a part of this army. Honor your ancestors. Honor those who come before you. Do it for your future wife. Do it for your future children. Do it for your parents, bro. I'm sure they'd be proud of the way you've come. As long as you make the change and join our army. Wish not for a lighter load, but for a stronger back.